Thank you, President. I move that Senator Hanson be suspended for the Senate for 7 sitting days.
So the question is, the motion is moved by Senator Wong be agreed to. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. Against? No. I believe the ayes have it.
Australia's Senate suspended a right-wing lawmaker for wearing a burqa in Parliament, a political stunt she staged for a second time to push for a national law banning the garment from public spaces. Pauline Hanson, the leader of the anti-immigration One Nation Party, was suspended for 7 sitting days of the legislative body after she appeared in the chamber in a full-body and full-face covering. The senator, who represents the state of Queensland, is not Muslim. Hanson's appearance was met with angry responses from other lawmakers, with audible cries of "shame on you." Another senator said her attire was a middle finger to people of faith. The Senate was suspended after Hanson appeared to refuse to leave the room or take off the burqa. The bill to ban the garment in public was not voted on. In proposing Hanson's suspension, Senator Penny Wong, who was also the country's foreign minister, called the move an immature and shameless stunt that was clearly aimed only at getting attention.
Senator Hanson's hateful and shallow pageantry tears at our social fabric, and I believe it makes Australia weaker. And it also has cruel consequences for many of our most vulnerable, including in our schoolyards, who should be able to look to this place to set an example.
There was widespread condemnation of Hanson in the Senate, which voted 55-5 to censure her before she was suspended overwhelmingly in a voice vote. Hanson accused her fellow lawmakers of hypocrisy for disallowing her to wear the burqa while refusing to vote on the ban, saying she will be judged by her constituents the next time she runs for re-election.
My position on banning the burqa, and I still stand strong by that, if they really believed in what they were saying, they didn't want to ban the burqa, yet they denied me the right to wear it on the floor of Parliament. There is no dress code on the floor of Parliament, yet I'm not allowed to wear it. So, to me, it's been hypocritical. I'm censured. Does it really worry me? No, it doesn't. For 7 days? Not at all. I'll stand my ground on what I believe in. I will continue to do so. And, it will be the people that will judge me. I will be standing for the next election in Queensland.
President, a dress code might be a choice of the senators, but racism should not be the choice of the Senate. This is a racist senator displaying blatant racism and Islamophobia, President, and someone should pull her up on that.
Senator Faruqi.
And it is you in the chair. You should be pulling her up on that.
Resume your seat.
What else would I be talking about, Deputy President? Because if this is about the dress code, she is disrespecting a faith. She is disrespecting the Muslims out there, Muslim Australians. It's absolutely unconstitutional. This needs to be dealt with immediately before we proceed. It's disgraceful.
Senator Payman, resume your seat.
Senator Hanson is using a prop in the Senate, and it's a dangerous prop. Dangerous to this country, but I ask that you rule on her bringing a prop into the Senate. It is not her normal dress code, Deputy President. It is clearly a prop to make a political statement. If I was to wear a Greens T-shirt in here, or a Fremantle Dockers shirt or whatever, I would get shown the door.
Resume your seat. This matter has been ruled on before. Senator Thorpe, resume your seat.
Because clearly what has happened today is not a genuine demonstration of faith. In fact, it is the middle finger to people of faith. It is extremely racist and unsafe, and I would like you to reconsider your earlier ruling that it is not appropriate in this Senate to draw attention to a religion that this person does not even subscribe to. It is an insult and it must be against the standing orders. I would like you to review your earlier ruling.
tend to uphold the ruling of Senator Parry and ask Senator Hanson to remove herself from the chamber and remove the clothing and come back dressed appropriately, or risk suspension, and she certainly will not be heard if she doesn't remove herself from the chamber. Thank you, Senators. I am advised that because we are on a point... Senator Hanson, you will not be heard. Senator Hanson, you will not be heard. Senator Hanson, you will not be heard. I've repeated the order that Senator Parry gave, and I understand. Senator Hanson, I'm going to call on the Leader of Government. Yep.
I would ask that we move to the next item of business, President.
Yes. Please suspend till the ringing of the bells.
Labor's move to secretly repatriate people who joined with the Islamic State has sparked widespread concern among Australians. This raises serious issues which the Senate should immediately debate: issues of transparency of a government cover-up, of national security, border integrity and the risk to Australia's community. We must debate it now, because we have a Prime Minister refusing to answer questions about it, and we have a Labor government even saying they're not actually responsible for it. How could these people even have a chance of returning here if the government wasn't permitting it to and wasn't facilitating it? It is our job to debate these issues and ensure the government keeps our community safe. We must never forget the savagery of the Islamic State terrorist group. They burned innocent people alive. They took innocent girls as sex slaves after killing their families. They recruited evil people from around the world to join them. They ordered or inspired deadly terrorism right here in Australia. In September 2016, they deliberately told their followers in Australia, kill them on the streets in Brunswick, Broadmeadows, Bankstown and Bondi, kill them at the MCG, the SCG, the Opera House and even in their backyards. Some people in Australia responded with enthusiastic depravity. Islamic State inspired an 18-year-old man to stab 2 Victorian police officers at Endeavour Hills in 2014. They inspired the siege of the Lint Cafe in Sydney's Martin Place, in which 2 innocent people died. Islamic State praised the actions of the hostage-taker, calling him a righteous jihadist. They inspired an Iranian-born youth to murder Curtis Chang in Parramatta in October 2015. They inspired 2 teenage boys to murder a service station worker in Queensland in April 2017 and injure 3 other innocent people. They inspired a Somali-born man to murder a receptionist in Brighton in Melbourne in June 2017. And they inspired a Bangladeshi woman to stab a man in his sleep at his home in Mill Park, Victoria in 2018. Australian authorities prevented others radicalised by Islamic State from carrying out many more attacks and plots. Perhaps what horrified Australians even more was that some people living here heeded the call of Islamic State to join their so-called caliphate. We cannot forget that photograph of one of them in the waste of Iraq, posing with a big grin and his young son holding a severed head. The very idea that anyone from Australia who joined in this lunacy should be allowed to come back is just as depraved as the Islamic State was. Yet it's already happened. The coalition let it happen first in 2019, repatriating the family of that same terrorist grinning with his son and a severed head. Labor repeated this shame in October of 2022, and now Labor is doing it again, cloaking the move in secrecy because what it is doing is shameful, reckless and directly risking the safety of Australians in their own country. What these Labor and coalition governments have done is say that people can join a savage terrorist group, commit the most depraved acts of murder, and you'll be forgiven. You'll be brought home and reintegrated into Australian society. You'll be allowed to have more children and radicalise them. Here's what the message from Hamas terrorists, a local imam, gave at a pro-Palestine rally last year. I ask you to continue all the actions that you started 1 year ago and do not stop until we see the crumbling of the Zionism and the end of the Israeli forces. How can anyone possibly believe that people exposed to the savagery of Islamic State do not pose a risk in Australia? Where are our guarantees these enemies will be monitored, surveilled and restricted to ensure that risk is minimised? These people should not be released into our suburbs and our towns. They should have been left where they are, in the place they choose to go to join Islamic State. They must be brought. If they must be brought here, which I totally oppose any of them coming into this country, then they must be put in prison, never allowed to know freedom again. For those of you in this chamber unfamiliar with the concept, these are known as consequences. Isn't it quite interesting to hear people on the other side, how you actually relate to this? So un-Australian are the Greens. They are so un-Australian. They do not support this.
Senator Hanson, please resume your seat.